think the angriest I've ever been on this show was the announcement of the cauliflower steak over at Topolino.
Man.
$37.
$37 for cauliflower, which costs 12 cents. You know, who are we kidding?
Welcome, Walt Disney World fans, to another episode of the Notcast presented by NotClub33.com. This week on the show, we're pitting two of Disney's signature dining restaurants against each other. It's Topolino's Terrace versus California Grill. My name is Steve Rhodes. With me this week, it's Pat Neistat.
What's up?
Say hello to Becky Wells.
Hey, how are you?
And the Disney cynic, Mr. Bobby Burchins.
Word of the wise, it's a great idea to not take a melatonin gummy, quote unquote, before you walk into a theme park. Just letting you know.
I guess you got to watch your show to know that.
Your show
Yes,
the other earlier this week, Cynics on Disney podcast, which aired right here on this very YouTube channel. Check that out. That was a little rehash, shall we say? Catch the vibes.
Yeah.
So, guys, these are two of the flagship dining spots at Walt Disney World. Both have fireworks views from their balconies where you can see either the Magic Kingdom fireworks, in the case of California Grill, or over at Topolino's Terrace, you can view down into Epcot, and both have elevated food experiences, and you pay for it.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first and kick off the show and say which one of these is your go-to for your money?
I'll go.
Let us know, Becky.
Should we bob our heads?
It's up to you. I am talking, so I guess that's the protocol. So I've eaten at both of these places within the last 2 years. And I did, it was the anniversary meal, the 50th anniversary special menu at California Grill. So probably not exactly the same experience as you would get if you went tomorrow. But we did watch the fireworks. We had a great view from our table. We also went outside. The service was fantastic. The wine pairing was great. The food was totally fine. For what it was great. I had no complaints about it. I would not necessarily choose it again because I felt like I was on a Disney Cruise Line ship eating at one of the nicer restaurants, which is great. But when I'm at Disney World, that's a little too far for me. I wasn't really needing that level after the long park day. But I've also done Topolino's after a long park day. And that's just sweet. Now I don't need breakfast either because this is so much food. But I really enjoyed that meal. I could have just gone there and had an appetizer and a drink and been totally fine. But I had the giant tomahawk. I loved that meal. I liked the location. I thought it was a great view. But it seemed a little less like I needed to be feeling really, really fancy to go there.
For sure.
Part of that could have been the people in the t-shirts and soccer shorts, which shouldn't have been allowed. but it was, I don't know. I liked it a lot more. I think the servers seemed a little less, I guess, formal. I mean, they were, though. They were still formal, but it seemed a little bit more relaxed. And the food was something a little different than feeling like I was at a super, super fine dining. I'm not saying that a knock on either place because both were great. But I think for me, if it was my husband and I going out for a dinner, we would 100% choose Topolino's over California Grill. We can control how much we're spending based on what we actually want to eat versus getting the entire menu of things I may not want all of, but I'm going to try because I had to buy it. So that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But both fantastic meals, upscale and great food. So,
Bobby, where would you pick from these two?
Oh, I thought we were just supposed to shut up and nod along this week.
Oh, yeah, well, she's
that time's over.
So
now you get to talk.
You get to. Well, not along to you.
Oh, okay. All
I
right,
want to
well,
interrupt Bobby.
Listen,
I better sit down. I know my place.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
wow.
what it is.
We do read all the comments on the show.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
So for me, I think I'm also going to go with Topolino, even though I think the angriest I've ever been on this show, besides the Genie Plus and IRS thing from back in the day, was the announcement of the cauliflower steak over at Topolino.
Man.
$37.
$37 for cauliflower, which costs 12 fucking cents. Are we? Who are we kidding with any of this bullshit? I don't understand. Anyway,
It's plant-based.
that aside, that aside. Like Becky, I don't like the prefix stuff anymore. Plus, just reviewing the California Grill dinner menu, it's not what it used to be, and I guess, at least in my view, anyway. There used to be like a really top of the line steak. There used to be lobster in there, and they were like $80 or $90 themselves at that point. The only time I ate there was on my honeymoon, and God bless it, I can't believe I spent that much money on one fucking meal. But at least then, like I had agency with all of that.
Yeah.
I am someone who used to be diabetic. I'm no longer diabetic, and if you look at all of our previous shows, holy shit, I'm missing like a half a chin, here, and that is a result of not being a diabetic anymore. However, that means I don't want to be forced to have dessert and have sugar poured down my throat. So I just don't see the value in the prefix stuff. Like, yes, some of you guys who are in shape, I guess, and not having medical issues, and basically just not in your mid 30s to mid 40s and discovering all this stuff for the first time. Those of you who are the TikTok influencers, fine, yeah, get your dessert and all that bullshit. I couldn't care less. I hate all that stuff. So I guess I'm going with Topolino because of agency.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all. Pat, what about you?
So I'll say this about California Grill. I think the California Grill, the fireworks experience is probably the best of between the two.
Yeah. No question.
What I don't like is being forced to spend the $89 on the whole deal. If I just want one item, I just want to be able to buy one item. So the prefix thing, I really don't like, just like all of you guys. I think there's really good stuff to eat on the menu. You got filet mignon, you got a fire roasted venison, you got black grouper, red snapper. I mean, it's probably really good food. I haven't eaten there for maybe like 5 years. So when I ate there, it didn't have this prefix menu, but to me, Topolino's is the play. They also have pretty much the same type of stuff. They have a filet mignon. They have a lamb shake. They have cauliflower steak if you want to indulge. But they also have some really good appetizers like the ricotta.
That's
was
fantastic.
awesome. I highly recommend getting that. I know Becky's had that. Steve's had it. Yeah. Bobby, did you get that as well?
Yep, I've had it as well.
But the one thing that does sucks about Topolino's is they took away the giant tomahawk veal chop. Yeah. So but I'm still going to go with the overall experience. I'm going over. I'm gonna go with the overall experience at Topolino's. I think it's less busy. I don't know if that I feel like you can get a reservation a lot easier than the California Grill. So yeah, Topolino's for me.
And I guess we're going 4 for 4 here, and this isn't to shit all over to California Grill, but when you're paying that kind of money, like I might have a higher bill. I might have a higher bill at Topolino's versus maybe California Grill. I just don't want to be locked in as a person that does not order dessert. Being forced to have to get a dessert is stupid, And for me, I just like Bobby said, I like having agency over what I want to eat. I might want to eat a little less that night. I might want a freaking salad. Who knows? Like whatever. Right. But for California Grill, for me, the only way I'll go there is if I can get in and sit at the bar. And there's only like 10 or 12 seats there, but the bar still is out. It's a much smaller menu, and Disney doesn't advertise it, but you can still get a la carte sushi rolls and like some short ribs and things like that. And that is all a la carte still. So if I can't get a seat at that bar at California Grill, I'll just skip it. And Topolino's is going to have like,
right.
I think it's just better service. I just like the ambiance better. The vibes, like Becky said, is a little bit more chill. Whereas, these Michelin star style places, that's where that prefix style comes from. Most Michelin starred restaurants, they do that prefix crap just to pad their dollar amounts because they don't want you to leave without spending $90, So that's how it's done. But, I'm more than willing to spend that. I just don't want to be locked into whatever the fuck you say I have to get. I got to get an app, an entree, and a dessert. Fuck you.
I will say that everybody should experience California Grill, though, just with the fireworks and just being able to look out onto Seven Seas Lagoon and look into Magic Kingdom and see the monorails going and that kind of thing. It's a great experience. So
sit at the bar.
And much
got to show up early and get a walk-up seat.
Hour, so
if you sit at the bar, you can go up and watch the fireworks, correct?
Yeah. You sit at the bar, keep your receipt, and come back later. And you can watch the fireworks. That's my play for California Grill if you don't want to do the whole prefix thing. But I think for a lot of people, they enjoy the prefix. And if you really want to see the Magic Kingdom fireworks over what's going on at Epcot, I mean, that's going to come into play too. But I think if you're just looking at it, objectively without factoring in the exact location, I think Topolino's is a better spot.
One other item that we should really make sure that we note here is that you guys, as travelers to Orlando, unlike me, who has a closet full of clothes and stuff like that, there's a dress code over at California Grill, and you do have to at least wear khakis and a button down. You can't. It's
just not super enforced.
Technically, the same one exists for Topolino's, and I've seen both of them completely.
I don't even see on the website or anything that says anything of the sort, or at least with Topolino.
Oh, okay.
No, it's on there. The first time
Victoria and Albert's now that's enforced.
We couldn't go because we were in.
That's enforced.
Yeah.
Well, I will say when I ate the Yachtsman, they told me that literally they're not, unless you're really in like dingy clothes, they're not going to turn you away. So I assume that's the same for all these places.
They understand that you just spent all day at a freaking theme park, and you might be dressed a certain way, but you're supposed to have a collar on if you're a man.
Yeah, and our bar
as
experience
we all know,
for Topolino's
dress codes don't apply to women.
Shortly
it
after
never does.
Yeah. Literally though, we tried to go and we got turned away. And
where?
Because at Topolino's just for the bar, but it was shortly after it opened, and I think they were really pushing it. But when we went to California Grill, we actually weren't sure what to do because we had a friend joining us that wasn't originally planning to join us. And so she was like, I am not wearing the right, niceness level of anything for this place. And they were like, yeah, you're fine. So I don't know what to say. And it wasn't like she was dressed like a slob or anything questionable. It just wasn't on the standards. So, I mean,
maybe just had a t-shirt on.
Your mileage may vary.
Whatever you get, you get.
Yeah.
So
going to depend on the cast member that seats you, but
I really think that's
Disney
true.
wants to collect your money.
Technically listed at every single one of those nicer restaurants, but they don't always enforce it, I guess.
Yeah. That's just anywhere you go, because I've been in nicer restaurants that are not on Disney property and they're supposed to have a dress code, but people walk in cargo shorts and flip-flops. So it's just, it's just who's up front and who's going to.
And Remy on the cruise ship, don't try that shit, though. They will make you. Remy is the one place on Disney I've seen, you cannot wear the wrong thing.
On the cruise ship?
Remy, at Remy, I
guess I did dress. I didn't wear a collared shirt. I just had a regular shirt on, but I had a jacket on there over it.
Right.
That counted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't go in those bacteria cesspools, so
Oh man,
you go into pools at Walt Disney World, so
that have all sorts of chemicals to kill all that shit.
Whatever, you like hot
I've never
tubs,
seen
don't
them
you?
clean those cruise ships, man. I tell you what.
Right.
The cruise ships are.
I got video of
immaculate.
people cleaning it. I
Yeah,
was impressed.
Me too.
I got a picture of Pat taking the video of people cleaning it because he was so impressed.
Oh, send me that. well, if I
think I
get
was
that in time for the edit, if I get that in time for the edit, I'm going to insert
100%.
that right here.
Nope.
All right, and then if it wasn't fully apparent, we were talking about Topolinos for dinner, not the character meal breakfast.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of character meals, that will be our next episode. We will be talking character dining at Walt Disney World. So if you want to know when that show drops, probably should turn on those notifications. While you're down there, smack that like button. It does help push us up in YouTube's algorithm, and consider subscribing because it's free for you to do so, and it really helps out our channel. For everybody here at Not Club 33, have a great day.